Hello, my fellow knights and warriors. This is another playthrough of my squad leader adventures, and today I'm going to play scenario 4, the Hedgehog of Piepsk. This is an interesting scenario because it is meant to be played with hidden initial placement of the German player. So it's perfect for the two-player game, but when you want to play solo like me, it is problem. Well, I don't have opponents for player versus player game, so I always play my war games solo with very little situations where I can find someone to vassal with me. But it is not an easy thing to do. And here I met this problem. So what to do? I decided to make this a bit more balanced, but by giving Germans two more squads. Because in this game Soviets have 32 squads while Germans have only 8. So it's 4-1 difference in favor of Soviets. Of course, it is partially balanced by the fact that Germans have 5 commanders and Soviets have only 3. So you know how it works. In this game, commanders are really a backbone of your army because they are the only ones who can rally your broken troops. So if you don't have any commander around, then any of your broken squad is as good as dead. So I decided to give these two squads and we will see how it will go. Of course, all German units start concealed because enemy is off-board, and one more important thing about this scenario is that it introduces off-board artillery. Off-board artillery is not a piece of cake. I think it is one of the hardest things to understand and to master in the squad leader. I hope I was able to understand it and I will be able to show you how it works, but we will see. And now, to win this battle, Soviets have to capture all the stone buildings here. So it's not very far from their starting position since they are entering from the eastern side of the board, and the Germans can place their units anywhere in the 10 hexes range from the eastern edge. So Soviets have a massive advantage when it comes to numbers, and Germans have to use their firepower and their concealment to stop them. Judging on my own experience by playthroughs of this scenario, Soviets usually winning. But we will see. Everything might happen. As for the OBA off-board artillery, in this scenario we have it set up right at the beginning, so we don't have to roll to see how many fire missions we will get and what kind of artillery is going to support us. No, in this scenario it is told that we get 3 missions of 81mm mortar fire, and we can use it to fire normal shells and to blast enemy down, or to fire smoke shells to cause more confusion and block enemy line of sight. I think I'm going rather to use it to blast enemies because there is a lot of Soviet units, but the small number of the commanders means that breaking them down could really work. And the problem for Germans is that this scenario is long. It takes 10 turns to play. So Soviets have a time to move here and there, penetrate every possible hole in the German lines and make their way through. So that's for an introduction. You can see I already set up Soviets to be ready to enter the game, and my plan is to make these two big groups and this one two small groups, one here and the other there, to outflank German position and to reach this town from north and from the south. If it will work, we will see. My commander with radio, who is about my artillery observer in fact, is here on the top of the hill, so he will have a perfect view from the adjacent area, so he can call artillery to support Germans. And I'm not sure if it will work well. In my previous video, in my previous game, when I played this scenario before, he wasn't even able to contact artillery in this any time, and then he was killed by Soviets before he was able to even call artillery support. Yes, this can happen. Using off-board artillery is really, really random. Okay, that's all for the small talk. We can go right into the battle. So, Soviets have initiative, it is easy to guess, so let's start. We are starting with turn 1, and first we have a rally phase. In a rally phase, German player has an option to call his artillery and to get a contact. Actually, I think I don't want to do it now because it requires me to place a spotting ground somewhere on the board, and I don't know where Soviets will be. So I'm not going to do it now. I will wait for them to come. So now nothing more to do in the rally phase, so we are going right into the Soviets prep-fire phase. Nothing to do because Soviets are off-board, so movement phase. And now movement. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please notice that right in this moment I have a line of sight to them from this hill. I believe I have. Let me see. Yes, I have a clean line of sight. But do I want to fire at them? And from this hill, I believe I also have a line of sight to them. So this is tempting to fire at them, but I think I will wait. So they continue their movement. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because they are moving with a commander. And now this group with light machine gun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now here it is something I called Soviet Death Star. This is a group that carries medium machine gun and light machine gun. And of course, medium machine gun is not a piece of cake. It has its it is heavy. So let me see how many portage points you need to carry a Soviet medium machine gun. It is 4 portage points. So this means that they have 1 movement point less because they are carrying medium machine gun. So 1, 2. I will give them commander, but no, I'm not going to give them commander, and you will soon see why. So it is 1 and 2. I cannot move here because it would require me 2 movement points, 1 to move up the hill and 1 to move on this hex. And I have only 3 movement points. And giving them commander who would help them carry this machine gun would allow me to do so, but it could also bring my commander to the dangerous position. I will going to move my commander here, so he will remain safe. I have to protect my leaders because I have only 3 of them. And now this group, a half, 1, a half, 2, a half, it's 2.5, and now do I want to reveal my position and fire at them with my heavy machine gun? That's the tough question. Yes. Well, no, I'm not going to reveal my position, so it was 1, 2, 2.5, 3, and 4. A half, 1, a half, 2, 3, 4, a half, 1, a half, 2, a half, 3. So that's all for now. And there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they are moving together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this group. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can see them, but they are in the woods, so no, I'm going to wait until for the more juicy targets. And 1, 2, no more. And now my leader goes here. So that's all for the Soviet movement, and I'm not going to do anything now. So no German defensive fire, and now we have Soviet advancing fire phase. So can I fire anywhere? I think no. They don't have anyone in the in the range nor in the line of sight. Well, they have, but it will be one, two, how many? Let's assume that I'm firing here. I have a line of sight. It is 6 hexes, so my firepower would be halved 3 times. First, because I am firing after my movement in the advancing fire phase, so it will be 2. Then, again, because I am firing in the long range, so it will be 1. And then I cannot go even smaller because they are concealed. So this is impossible shot. So they are marked as advanced fire, but they cannot make this shot. And that's why it is worth to keep this concealment as long as possible. Nothing to do here as well. So that's all when it comes to the Soviet advancing fire. Next we have a road phase and nothing to road, and next we have advance phase. So Soviets are advancing. And now here. And now there. Here. Alright, so that's all for the advance phase. And next we have close combat. Nothing happens. So that's all for the Soviet actions, and we are going to the German half of the turn. And now German commander is aware of the Soviet presence. So he takes his phone or the radio and tries to call his pals from a battery to call the fire support. He chooses which hex? I think this hex. I believe he can see this hex. Let me see, because I have to choose a hex I can see. Yes, I can see this hex. And now I have to make a call. Hello, is there anyone? Is there anybody in there? I got 8. No one's there, no answer, and this is all. Oh, too bad. So I have no contact with battery, so this concludes German contact attempt. Nothing else to do in the German rally phase, and Soviets have nothing to do either. So next we have German prep fire phase. Now, do I want to fire anywhere? Like I said, I want to keep these concealment markers as long as possible. They are quite a good protection. So no, I'm not going to make any more actions. as long at last not around. So no, I'm not making any movement. And now we have Soviet defensive fire phase. So now, who is going to fire and where? I think that they are going to fire at this commander. They have 8, and this is tripled, this is halved twice. First, because of concealment. Second, because of the long range. So they have 8, and it turns to 2. So they are firing at him with the firepower of 2. And they got 3. Amazing. Damn you, lucky Ivans. And this is 3 in the 2. Let me see. This is morale check +1. 6 +1, 7. He is fine, but he's losing his concealment, and this is already pretty bad for him. What a lucky Ivans, really. Who is going to fire next? He is going to fire here. It will be 4, and it is doubled, it is halved 1, 2, 3, 4. It is halved once because he's targeting concealed unit. So this is 2, and there is no modifier. It is strange that there is no modifier when you are firing on the enemy on the hill. But, well, that's how the rule works. So this is 2, and 11, no effect. Nothing to do here, and now there. I wonder if they can see him. I am not quite sure about it, actually. So I'm going to declare my defensive fire, and now I need to check if I can see him. So, yes, they can see. Yes, they can see. And they can see. As you noticed, I turned on the feature that allows me to see if I have a line of sight or not. If it is white, I have. If it is blue, then I haven't. So, for example, this hex is in my line of sight, this one is not, this one is. So, all these and oh, I can also check for them. Yes, and they also have. So, all these 4 squads are firing here, and they have to halve their firepower twice because of the long range and because of the concealment. So they have 4, 8, 12 and 16, and then it is halved to 8, and then it is halved to 4. So they are firing with firepower of 4 here, and they got 4. This is morale check +1. 4. Germans passed, but they are losing their concealment. That's really bad. Okay, so that's all for the Soviet defensive fire, I guess. Yes, that's all. So we can remove defensive fire, and next we have advancing fire. And now they can fire because, well, they are already seen, so they have nothing to lose. And now where they can fire. Let me see if they are. No, they are in the wood building. So I will target them, and I think these 2 units are my best target, but they are in the building, so this is +2, while they are in the woods, so this is +1. So I am targeting them, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are in my normal range, so I wasn't moving, so I can fire with my normal firepower. So this is 4 +1, 10, no effect. I am not firing anywhere else, so that would be everything when it comes to the German advancing fire. Next we have German. Next we have road phase. no one has to road. And next we have advance phase. So I wonder if he wants to move. I mean, if he will go here, he will be safe from their fire as long as they want to get closer. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm retreating here to be at last partially safe from the fire, and that's all for my advance. So next we have close combat. Nothing to do. There are things to do in close combat when you get a radio contact, but well, they failed, so we have no radio contact, and this is the end of the turn 1. So we have to start turn 2. Let's mark it, and we are ready to go. Okay, the rally phase of the turn 2. Do I have anyone to rally? None on the Soviet side and none on the German side. So now this German commander tries to call his battery again. Let's make a roll. And 4. Yes, he has a contact. So now he can place his counter where? I think here this is going to be a good hex. Let me see if I have a line of sight to this hex. No, I don't have to. Why? Well, you can see these woods here. It creates a blind hex to this hex, but I can do it here. So I can place this marker here. So, but well, I think this hex is also out. Yes, because no, this hex is fine. Okay, that's good. So it is going to be placed here. And now that's all. We will return to this during close combat phase, and this is everything that I have to do in the rally phase. So next we have Soviet prep fire phase. Now, where do I want to fire with my Soviets? Not here, not there, and now there. I think they will try to hit him. So they have 4 because they have total of 8, but they are firing at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes. So they have to halve their firepower, so they have 4. And 12. This is natural miss, so no effect. Anyone else? This one tries to fire here. They have 2. Because they are in the normal range, but they are concealed. So this is 2 and 8, no effect. That would be all when it comes to the prep fire. So let's go to the Soviet movement. And now I could see the spotting round that fell here. So now I know that probably Germans are going to hit this area with artillery, so I would rather leave it as quick as possible. So they are moving into the building. This commander follows them. These 3 squads are moving here, and they are safe because there is a wall. And as long as they are not adjacent to the wall, they cannot be hit from the units that are on the other side of the wall and not adjacent to the wall. Simply, if they would be on any of these hexes, they would be able to fire here or there. But if they are here, they can only fire on these hexes. So as long as they are here, they are safe. So that's what they are going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No. I will be still in the close, too close to this spotting ground. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this group crawls onto this hill, and now Germans decide they cannot wait anymore, because they see how dangerous these Soviets will be. So they declare their defensive fire versus them. This is of course clear line of sight because they are on the same distance. I have 8 hexes range here, and now because of that I can fire from my heavy machine gun with its normal firepower, but my squad has to halve the firepower. So I have 6 plus 2, it will be 8. And minus 2 because they moved on the clear terrain. So it's 8 minus 2, it's, oh, that's pretty good. It's 7, minus 2 is 5. 5 in the column of 8, this is morale check plus 2, okay. Looks like I'm going to be Luke Skywalker with this Death Star. Let's see, they take a morale check plus 2. 6 plus 2, they break, nice. They 6, they also break, very good, very good, very good. And the last one, they break. I know this is not exactly evil overlord's laughter, but well, at last I managed to bring them down. So let's mark this hex as target hex, and let's mark them as fired. Well, they now revealed themselves, and due to this fact they can be a perfect target for enemy. But well, I think that getting rid of this big group was worth of this. Okay, so that's all. Soviet commander will remain here. They will need him badly. And now here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, oh, 1, 1.5, 2, 3, and 4. I think I don't have a line of sight to them, or maybe I have. I'm not sure about this hill, this hex. No, I don't have, because I have a line of sight down the hill if each hex in the line is lower. So, for example, I would have a line of sight to this hex, but if I would try to fire here, I would have this one, and this hex would block my line of sight. So I don't think I have a line of sight to them. So now these Soviets here, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. I think they have a line of sight, so they are firing on them. So now let's check the line of sight. Yes, there is a line of sight. So they have 4 minus 2 and 10. No effect. So it was 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4. And now 1, 2, 1, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1.5, 2, 3, 3.5, and now I have to take 4 minus 2. It's 7 minus 2, 5, so I'm fine. and I can go here. 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4. So that's all for the Soviets here, and this concludes all the Soviet movements. And now, after all the movement is done, we are going to the German defensive fire. I still cannot fire with this artillery. I have to wait until the close combat phase, and then in the next turn I will be able to fire. So nothing to do here. They already fired. Nothing there, nothing there. So that's all. No more of the defensive fire. Next we have Soviet advancing fire phase. And now they cannot fire at him as well. They can, I believe, because 1, 2, 3, and each of these hexes is one level higher. So now they can, but they have 4 because they moved, so they have their firepower halved. But, well, it won't hurt to try. So they are firing. This is 3 hexes range, so this is 4 and 6. In the column of 4, this is a miss. No more shooting here. Nothing to do there. Nothing to do here as well. I wonder, they are in the building, so I will try. I'm going to fire with these two as a group. No, I cannot. The line of sight is blocked for them, and I believe for them too. Yes, this building here is blocking my line of sight. So no, I cannot. Of course, I have to mark them as advancing fire because they actually fired. It's simply they couldn't hit anyone, and I have to make a roll because there is still a chance that this machine gun will be damaged. So no effect. And this is everything when it comes to the advancing fire. So let's remove advancing fire markers. And next we have to check for the road phase. So this group roads, they are getting out of this hill and they are moving there. No one else has to road, I believe. Yes, no one else. So everyone else fine. Now we have Soviet advance phase. I will spread some of my squads here. And now I am moving like this to have protection of this hill. They won't be able to fire at me when I am here because this hill makes a blind hex on this hex. So that's all for the Soviet advance. That's right. Oh, let's place them here to make sure that they are here. And now we have close combat. There is no close combat, but we have to make check where this spotting ground here will be. So I am taking spotting ground marker, and now I have to roll. If I will roll 1 or 2, then it remains on that hex. Otherwise it has to be moved. So let's make a roll, and I got 5. So it is going to be moved. First I am rolling for the direction. It's 3, so it will move here. And now how many hexes? 1. So it moves here. Not very good, because as you can see, it is there isn't any units on this hex and adjacent hexes. But don't worry, we will have we will be able to do something about it later. Okay, so that's all for the Soviets, and now we are going to the German part of the turn 2. So, rally phase. Nothing to do for Germans, safe to him. He wants to keep his contact, but first let's rally. This Soviet leader tries to rally these three squads. They all have +4. So first one, nothing. And, ooh, natural 12. They are dead. Second squad, nothing. And last squad, nothing. So all I can do is to remove this desperation morale marker. And now, first of all, I'm trying to maintain the contact. So I have to roll. And 7, contact is held. Is on, so I have contact. And now I have a couple of options about this marker. So I can let me check to make sure I am not doing wrong. Now I can correct this marker by moving it 3 hexes in the direction of my choice. Or I may leave it where it is, or move it up to 3 hexes and replace it with fire for effect marker. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm moving it up to 3 hexes, 1, 2, 3. And now I am replacing it with fire for effect. That's what I wanted. But wait a moment. There is one more thing I need to make sure. Yeah, I'm going, I believe it has to be in my line of sight. So I think this hex is not in my line of sight. I need to make sure. No, it is not. So which hex is in my line of sight? This one is not. 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 This one is. This one is not. So this hex is in my line of sight, but it is it gives me nothing if I will move it here. And 1, 2, 3. I have 3 hexes only to move it and turn it into fire for effect. Otherwise, I can move it more, but I won't be able to change it into fire for effect. And I want to change it into fire for effect. So let me check more for some options. No. 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 Here. Here. And there. No. So only these 2 hexes are available for me. No good. And that hex maybe. Yes, it is my line of sight, and it is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I am moving this potting around here, and I am turning it into fire for effect. That's all. Okay, so that's all for my contact, and now I'm going into the prep fire phase. So now I am calling my artillery, and it fires with its first mission. I have 3 missions, so I have only 2 missions left on these hexes. It is a mortar, 81 millimeters, and due to this fact, it fires with firepower of 12. So these 2 hexes are hit with the mortar with the firepower of 12. So this one, you can see there is a leader here, so this is pretty good target for me. It is +1 because of the woods, and 11. Nothing. Now for them, it is 4, and they are in this wood building, so it's +2, so it's 6. 6 in the column of 12, this is morale check +2. So this one takes morale check +2, 8, it is broken. Okay, that's all. Well, it wasn't very effective. Only one Soviet squad broken. It could be better. Now, this squad wants to fire, and where? 1, 2, 3. Well, they all have me in their range, so that's bad. So I think I will try to hit them. I have a line of sight, so this is 8, and they are in the grain. Grain provides no protection when your enemy is above you. So it is 8 plus 0 and 4 in the column of 8. This is morale check +2. 6 plus 2, 8, they break. Prep fire, it's here. Now them. They will reveal themselves, and they are going to fire on this hex. So yes, I have a line of sight and have a firepower of 6. So it's 6 minus 1 because of the leader. Oh, it's 9. Minus 1 is 8. 8 in the column of 6. No effect. Too bad. Who else? As for them, as you can see, enemy spread his units, and then I'm going to reveal them first. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are firing here with 6 and no modifier. Come on. 11, nothing. And they are also revealing themselves, because otherwise Soviets would come closer and force me into close combat. So I am firing with 10, with 8 against them. So it's 8 minus 1. It's 6 in the column of 8. Morale check +1. 7 Soviet and +1, so it's 8. Soviets are broken. No good, no good. And now there. They cannot fire here. They cannot fire there. They cannot fire there. And they cannot fire here. So they haven't any targets actually. That's no good. So that's all for the prep fire. Next we have German movement phase. So any German wants to move. As for them, if I will go here, I will be invisible for them, but no, I cannot. This is a cliff, and cliff blocks my movement. You cannot simply go down the cliff. So standing here is dangerous because they might overrun me, but as long as I am here, I can fire at Soviets coming. So I'm going to stay here. I'm not making a movement. So that's all for this German movement phase, and now we have Soviet defensive fire phase. So they are firing here, so they have 8 plus 1. This is 10, no effect. They are firing here, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 12 plus 1. 6 in the column of 12, morale check plus 2. So German leader, he passes, and now his squad, they pass. That's all. He fires here with 4. 5 in the column of 4. This is morale check plus 1. And German leader passes. He fires here too. 4 and 6. This is morale check. German leader makes it. And now here. No one can do anything here and there, so no defensive fire. Next we have advancing fire, and I think that Germans are not going to do anything, so we move advancing fire markers. Next we have a road phase, so they are routing here onto the hex with a leader. They are routing into these woods. They are routing onto this hex. And no one else has to route. Yes, no one else. So that's all for the road. Next we have a German advance phase. I am not advancing anywhere, I think. No. So that's all for the... Or I wonder if I should move into this building. A building provides protection plus 2. It will limit my line of sight, but it will give me better protection. So I am moving into the building. And now it is close combat phase. There is no close combat. So that's the end of the turn 2. Yes, that's the end of the turn 2. So we can move into the turn 3. Let's carry on with turn 3. And now, Russian rally phase. This commander tries to rally these two squads. First one fails, second one fails. No good. This commander tries to rally this squad. And no, this is +4, so he fails. They cannot rally, so we can remove Desperation Morale. Same here. And that's all for Soviets. Now Germans are fine. Now this leader tries to maintain the contact with his battery, and he fails. So we have to remove this fire for effect marker, and he will have to start it all over again. And we have to remember that we have only 2 missions left. So that would be all for the rally phase, and next we have Soviet prep fire phase. So I'm going to start here, and they are going to fire on them. These two have a line of sight because they are hiding behind the wall. This one I believe not. And as for them, this is problematic, but I believe they haven't. So let's start with them. They are firing here with 8 plus 2 plus 1 because of the woods. So it's 8, so this is morale check. For the German leader, he passes, and for his men, they pass. Okay, that's good. And now let's mark them as defensive, as prep fire. Now they are firing on them, and no, this is just a machine gun with no men around, and I will use this squad too. So this will be 12 and 4, so this is 16 plus 2 because of the wood building. So 16 plus 2, it's 10. I believe this is a miss. Let me see, where did I place my tables? there should be here. It was 16 and 10. This is morale check. So this leader, he breaks. Oh, that's very unfortunate. And then we need to make a check for them. They are fine, but now they have to take another check because their leader broke. And 8, of course. The other check wasn't very lucky for them. They break. So Soviets are lucky. They managed to break one of the key points of the German defense. Okay, so let's mark them as prep fired. Now, who else? They can't see anyone. Or they can. I wonder if they can see these hacks. I mean, they are on the hill, so these woods should not block my line of sight. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I am far from my normal range, so my firepower would be halved. So I will take this risk, and I'm firing on them. Let me see if there is a line of sight. Where it is. File preferences. Loss. Enable loss checking. Okay, there should be an option to check loss. Alright, it is. So yes, there is a line of sight. So they have 6 plus nothing. They are in the clear terrain, so this is 6 and 6. 6 in the column of 6, this is definitely a hit. So this is... let me see. Okay, I found my charts. 6 in the column of 6, this is morale check plus 1. So 2. Germans passed splendidly, so they don't worry. Okay, and anyone else? I believe they don't want to fire anywhere, so that's all for the Soviet prep fire phase. Next we have Soviet movement phase. And now this squad moves here, and now they want to fire on them because they see that they are approaching this group. So, can I see them? I believe yes. I believe I can see them. So I am firing. Certainly. So this is 8 minus 2 and 1. So off to graveyard you go. But first to remember, place a target marker and then go to graveyard, you zombies. And now defensive fire. No, defensive fire. And who else? Now them. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are broken, so they cannot reach their guns. Left here, he is broken. Now them. I wanted to break them with these 2 squads and then make assault, but looks like my plan isn't working as I hoped, because they missed. So I am going to do something different. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I am taking this light machine gun. 1, 2, 3, and now they can fire at them. It will be 6 plus 2 and minus 1 and minus 2. So plus 2, minus 2 and minus 1. So the total modifiers are minus 1 and firepower is 6. 5, so it's 4. In the column of 6, this is morale check plus 2. 11, so they break completely. But only them. Okay, I made made the mistake of marking the entire stack, but only the unit that moved was actually a target of the attack, so only they are broken. But let's place a target marker here as well. Alright, and let's mark them as defensive fire. And that would be everything here. So now let's go there. A half. 1. A half. I think I can see them, but the question is if I really see them, because if I won't be able to see them, then I will lose my chance to fire. These woods are creating blind hexes here, so that's fine. But I think I cannot see them. So it's 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, and that's all. Now 1, and now I certainly can see them. Yes. So this is 4 minus 2. It is 8. No effect. So defensive fire and target marker. They are climbing there. A half, 1, a half, 2, a half, 3, a half, 4, a half, 1, a half, 2, a half, 3, a half, 4. So they are going to the town. They don't care about this. I will leave it for these for 3 squads. They should be able to get rid of them. Now 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's for the Soviet movement. Next we have Soviet advance phase. Advancing fire phase. Sorry. First we have a German defensive fire phase, certainly. So anywhere I can fire. They are broken. They fired. They fired. I think they can fire on this hex. So I'm going to do this. Yes, I have a range, but this is 7 hexes and my range is 4. So I will fire with firepower of 4 and 4, halved because of the extended range. So this is 2 plus 2. So this is 4 plus 1 because of the woods, and 7 plus 1, 8. This is a miss. So defensive fire. And I think this is all when it comes to the German defensive fire, so remove defensive fire. Next we have Soviet advancing fire, and now this one fires onto this machine gun, so it's 2, it's 6, no effect, so nothing. They are firing here, and they have 4, 8 and 10. We have to halve this firepower due to the advancing fire, and double because of the adjacent hex. So this is still 10, so we are going to use column of 8 and no modifier. Ew, it's 11. So our machine gun breaks. Damn. And I think this is all when it comes to advancing fire phase. I don't see any opportunities to perform any other successful advancing fire attacks. Nope. Well, here, I mean, 2 and 1, so it will be 3, so it will be 2. I'm not even going to use this machine gun. I am firing here with 2 plus 2 because of the wood building, 8, nothing. Okay, that's all. So I am removing advancing fire markers, and next we have a road phase. So this one roads here, they don't have to road because they are on the hex without enemy units around, so they can stay where they are, and nothing to do there. So that's for the road phase. Next we have advance phase. So Soviets are advancing by one hex. They are advancing here and they are starting close combat. Yes, they aren't moving very fast, but you know, we have 10 turns in this scenario, so this shouldn't be a deal. I wonder if I should try to get closer to them, risking close fire, or I should stay hidden behind the wall. I think that staying behind the wall is safer. So I'm going to remain where I am, and I can even getting here would provide me +1, and while I am here I have +2. So yeah, the wall is a better protection than woods. Well, guess it's pretty obvious. And that's all for the Soviet advance. And now we have close combat. The first close combat in this game, I believe. This is 4 versus 8. So Soviets are attacking together, so they have 2-1, and the Germans are attacking single Soviet squad, so they have 1-1. So Soviets need 7, Germans need 5. Soviets, they made it, Germans, nope. So German squad is out of play, off to graveyard, Helmuts, and that's all for the Soviets. Right, that's all for the Soviets. We are going to the German half of the turn 3. So, we are starting with rally phase. And as for Germans, this commander tries to rally himself. 6 plus 4, it's 10, and he got 9. Oh, one less, and he would rally himself, but he can't. So I am removing rally desperation morale marker, and now Soviets. He tries to rally these 2 squads. First one, no. Second one, no. Too bad. Two same rolls. Now he 6. He made it. They are back to normal. So let's rally them. Now they are removing desperation morale marker, and that would be all here. There I am trying to repair this machine gun. No effect. It remains broken. And the Germans. This commander tries to make a contact with a battery. Oh, sorry, it should be here. Yeah, I made it, so I can place a marker, and I'm going to place it here. Okay, so that's all for my contact. And now I'm going to make a Soviet, German prep fire phase. So they are attacking here. So they have 8 plus 8. Yes, that's 8, and no modifiers. It's 4 in the column of 8. This is morale check +2, and 3 plus 2, 5. They made it. Amazing. I hardly expected them to do so. This group fires here. So I will have 8 plus 2 minus 1. So it's 8 plus 1. 9. 9. No effect. This squad with light machine gun fires here, so it's 4 plus 1. No effect. Luck is definitely not on the German side today. And that's all for the German prep fire phase, nothing to do. Next we have German movement phase, and do I want to move anywhere with my Germans? I think no. I cannot see... I've been thinking of moving them, but if I will move them far from here, on the other side of the hill, they will lose contact, line of sight to this zone, and they wouldn't be able to control their fire. So I wonder if it makes sense to get out of here to safety. I think it makes sense because they are going to fire at me soon with firepower of 8, and the more Soviets coming, so I don't want to lose this artillery observer, so I'm moving him. 1, 1, 2, sorry, because he's moving down. 3 and 4, 4.5, and he's going to remain here. Next, that's all for the German movement, and next we have Soviet defensive fire phase. So they are firing here with 8 plus 1. It's 5. Oh, great. This is morale check plus 2 for Germans. No good. German leader. He breaks. Oh my. German squad. They break because there was plus 2. And we have to take... the squad has to take another check because of the leader's break. They are fine. So Soviets are doing a great job. You know, this scenario would probably be played in a totally different way if I would play against another human player and he would use hidden initial placement. Now these Soviets are firing here. They have 12, 18, and let me see. I wonder if no, because they don't have line of sight. These woods blocks them. So this is 18 plus 2. So it's going. We are going to use a column of 16. It's 12 in the column of 16. Nothing. Too bad. They are firing here, so it's 4 and 8, no effect. Nothing to do here. So that's all for the Soviet defensive fire. So let's remove defensive fire marker. German advancing fire, no effect, nothing to do. Next we have a road phase. They are going to stay here because they cannot retreat. And now we have a Soviet advance phase. So I can finally advance here. I'm not going to move on these hex because I would be adjacent to them and they would kill me with amazing firepower. Oh, sorry. It is German defensive advance phase. Yes, my mistake. So this commander advances into this building, and that would be all for the advance. No close combat. So, oh, sorry, yes. This commander lost his line of sight to this hex, so I have to remove this marker. And now that's all for the German actions. Sorry for that mistake with Soviet advance. And this concludes turn 3. Yes, that's all for the turn 3. Okay, turn 4. Let's carry on with rally phase. So this Soviet leader still tries to rally some of his men. First squad, they made it. And the second squad, they know they didn't make it, so they are back to normal. Oh, and they get natural 2 during rally. Doesn't it mean they are getting berserk? I believe yes. Let me check to make sure. But fate. if when making a morale check for Russian infantry unit due to enemy fire. So no, so they are not berserk. They are simply getting back to normal. Now they are fine. So that's all for Soviets, and now Germans. First, this leader. He rallies himself, and now he tries to rally his squad. 7. They are back to normal. Great. Now this leader, he tries to rally himself. 5 plus 4, so no. It was one too much. And here that's all. Now I can try to fix this gun. 1, okay, machine gun is back to action. Alright, so now my commander here, the question is if he wants to use to contact. No, he doesn't want to contact because he cannot see any good places where he can place a counter. So no, I'm not going to make a contact attempt. And next I am going to the Soviet prep fire phase. I'm not going to fire here, instead I'm going to move closer. They are trying to fire here, so this is going to be 4 and 4. Okay, 4 in the column of 4. This is morale check +1 for Germans, and they break. So Soviets might be happy. Now who else? They are going to fire here. So this is 12 and 6. So this is 18 plus 2. So it's 16 plus 2 and 12. No effect. Okay, interesting. No defensive fire. This is prep fire. Alright. So that's all. Nothing here. So that's all for the prep fire. I am moving into Soviet movement phase. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1. And now do Germans wants to fire? Yes, they want, because they know if Soviets will stay here, then the concealment marker will be removed anyway. So 8 plus 1. Yeah, it's 11. No effect. And target marker. 1, 2. 1, 2. And now here, this 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3.5. 1, 1, 2, 3, and 4. They are taking medium machine gun. And I think that's all for the Soviet movement. Yes, that's all for the Soviet movement. So now we have German defensive fire phase. But first let's mark them as broken, because Soviets are on the adjacent hex. And now they are firing here, because there are 3 squads, so they are definitely more dangerous. So this is 6 +1 and -1, so it's normal 6, and 6 in the column of 6, this is morale check +1. So first Soviet squad, they pass, second they pass, and third one they pass. Fantastic. Soviet leaders would be so proud of them. Now, anyone else? They can't see any of these Soviets here. They can only fire here. It will be 4 + 1. It's 5. 5 in the column of 4. This is morale check +1. And 8, they break, so they are dead. At last, something. Nothing to do here. They are broken, and nothing to do there. So that's all for the German defensive fire. Next we have Soviet advancing fire, and now they are all firing at them. So this is 4, 8 and 12. So this is 12 + 1. It is 7. In the column of 12, this is morale check +1. So German leader, he breaks, and his squad, they break. So they were already broken, so they go all to graveyard. Right into graveyard you go. So Soviets were very lucky this time. Alright, and now who else? They already fired. Now they are going to fire. This is 12 + 1, and 10, no effect. So they are going to do the same. They have 12 + 1. They are firing together. And this is 6. 6 in the column of 12. This is morale check +2. And 11, they break. So all of them are marked as advancing fire. And this concludes Soviet advancing fire phase. So let's remove advancing fire markers. And next we have a road phase. So they have to road. They don't have to. They are out. So that's all for the road phase. Yes, that's all for the road phase. Next we have Soviet advance phase. So let's advance here, there, 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 there. They will remain on this hex. No, they are going to climb here. Okay, so that's the entire Soviet advance, and this concludes all the actions of the Soviets in the turn 4. So let's go to the German half of the turn 4. And first, rally phase. They are fine, no commander and no commander, so Germans cannot rally anywhere. And Soviet leaders, he rallies this squad. It's 4, so they are back to normal. And now he rallies this squad. 8, they remain broken. Nothing else to rally on the Soviet side, nothing. So next we have a German prep fire phase. And now this they are not making any contact because they cannot see any Soviets. I mean, they can see them, but I don't think this makes sense. So they are firing here. It's 8 + 1 - 1, so it's 8 and 0. It's 6 in the column of 8. This is morale check +1 for Soviets. and 3 plus 1, 4. They are making it. Nothing else where I can fire on approaching Soviets. I think no, they cannot see anyone. So that's all for the German prep fire phase. Next we have a German movement phase. So they are going to leave these hacks, they are useless here. So 1, 2, 3. No one can see them, so they are safe. This leader moves 1, 2, or maybe no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he will have a decent look on what's going here, and maybe he will be able to use this damn radio again. And I think I don't have much else to do when it comes to the German movement. So that's all for the German movement. Next we have a Soviet defensive fire phase. So they are firing here, so they have 18 plus 2, so it's 16 plus 2, it's 9 in the column of 16. This is morale check plus 1. So German leader, he made it. German squad, it's 8 plus 1 and minus 1, so they are broken. Okay. Defensive fire. They cannot fire. They are firing here. It's 8. It's so it's 6 in the column of 8. Morale check. They passed. And they are firing here. It's 12, so it's 24 plus 1. 11 in the 24. This is morale check plus 1, and Germans made it. So that's all for the Soviet defensive fire phase, I think. Let me see for a moment, but I think that's all. Yes, looks like I can't see any other German units around. So that would be everything when it comes to the Soviet defensive fire. So let's remove defensive fire markers. Advancing fire, nothing. So no advancing fire. Let's remove all the advancing fire markers. Road phase. So now they have to road, and now this hex is safe, and this one is the closest. As for them, they have to leave their heavy machine gun, and now the only hex where they can actually retreat is this one, I think, or this one is in the line of sight of these Soviets, this one as well, this one, I mean, this one is the closest cover possible, but it is also in the line of sight of Soviets, so I'm getting closer to the Soviets. So looks like I cannot retreat, so I am going to graveyard. And they have to stay where they are. No broken units on the Soviet side, so that's the end for the road phase. Next we have advance phase. Now Germans, well, I think they want to advance into this building, and that's all for the German advance. So this is the end of the turn 4. We are moving into turn 5. Oh, let me increase turn by 2. So that's all for the turn 4. Let's go with turn 5. Soviets are first to go, and let's go with rally phase. Oh, this Soviet leader tries to rally this squad. Oh my, they are dead. Looks like he had to kill a couple of them to rally the others, and he killed too many. Now, Germans. This leader tries to rally the squad. 7 plus 4, sadly nothing. Okay, so I can remove desperation morale marker from here, and now the question is if this one wants to make a contact with battery. I think I would like to, because well, let me think. I can see this hex only, I cannot see this, I cannot see any of these, so I can place my marker somewhere here, but it wouldn't give me much with no Soviets around, so no, I'm not going to make a contact. And now that's all for the Germans and for the rally phase, and now we go to the Soviet prep fire phase. So where Soviets are going to do prep fire? I think here they have this machine gun, so they have a range of 10 and the squad has a range of 4. So I'm going to fire here, so I will have 6. Let me check for the line of sight. Yeah, I have a line of sight. So this is 6 plus 2. It's 8, no effect. Okay. Who else? Well, them. They are firing here with them, so it's 18 plus 2, so it's 16 plus 2, and 8 in the column of 16. This is morale check plus 1. So German leader, he makes it, and the German squad 8 plus 1 and minus 1, so they break, and they were already broken, yes, so they are dead. Off to graveyard you go. Crowds, and that's all here. Nothing to do there. I cannot see any Germans, and nothing to do here as well. I cannot see anyone. So that's all when it comes to the Soviet prep fire, and now Soviet movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and now they are definitely firing. They have 12 and plus 1 and minus 1, so it's 12 and 7 in the column of 12. This is morale check plus 1, and 11 they break. Let's place a target marker here, so they are broken. And let's mark them as defensive fire. Now them. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. So they have to be marked as desperation morale. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now there. 1. I am taking this machine gun. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. And now this leader can see them, but he hasn't this machine gun. This machine gun was left by his troops, so he has to take it in his own movement. So no, I cannot fire at with this light machine gun. And now there. 1, 2. Do they want to move them close? If I will let them close, I will have a better firepower, but if they will survive, they will be able to catch me in the close combat during their advance. So I will let them move closer. So this is 12 plus 2. Oh, natural 2. So we got 4 in the column of 12. This is morale check plus 3. It is 12, so Soviets are dead. No, dead, they are broken. Okay, And now this is defensive fire. And now these two. They are taking Soviet German medium machine gun with them, so they have movement lowered by one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the leader 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's all here, there, and now they. 1, or maybe not 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's the entire Soviet movement. Now German defensive fire. Nothing to do really. So we can remove defensive fire markers. And next we have Soviet advancing fire phase. So they are all firing here, so they have, or maybe not, I mean, they will be out in the road phase because they cannot road, because all the hexes are adjacent to the enemy. So I think it makes more sense to fire here, to try to get rid of them. So I'm going to use these two stacks to fire here. So it will be 6 and 10. So it's 8 plus 2, they are in the wood building, and it's 7, so this is morale check. So the German leader 9, it was +1, so he breaks. Oh hell. Soviet German squad +1, they break. And now German leader broke, so his squad must take another check. They pass. Okay, so they are marked as advancing fire. Like I said, they don't even have to fire at them because they will be out anyway. Oh, I should move them with a machine gun, not just a machine gun alone. Now, no other options for Soviets to perform advancing fire. So let's remove advancing fire markers. And now we have a road phase. So Soviets road first, and now they 1, 2, and 3, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Germans, they cannot, because all the hexes are adjacent to the enemy unit, so off to graveyard you go. They are in the building, so they don't have to road, so they are going to stay here. And no one else has to road, no one else has to road. So German Soviet advance. They carry machine guns, so I'm not sure if they can advance. Let me see. Advancing. I believe they can, but I remember, I am sure that there was something about... No, nothing. If there is something, please correct me, but I think it's fine. So I am moving here. This leader moves here. This squad goes there. They move here. They move there. They move here. They remain on this hill. And now I will send one squad here just to make sure they won't be able to retreat. They will go here, And this leader, I think he's going to follow his men. So that's all for the Soviet advance. We don't have any close combat to resolve. No, we don't have to. So now this is a German part of the turn 5. I wonder if we will have to play the entire 10 turns to play, or we will finish the battle before. So now we have German rally phase, and now any of the German commanders have to rally their troops. Well, he might try, but he needs 5 or less to rally himself. No, he fails, and he has to keep desperation morale because of the adjacent enemy units. Now that's all. He tries to get a contact with battery 7. He made it, so now he can place a marker. Let me find OBA, German OBA. And where can I place it? I believe here. This hex seems to be in my line of sight, so that's where I'm placing this artillery request. So that's all for the rally phase for the Germans, and now Soviets. He tries to rally this squad. He made it. He tries to rally the squad. No. And nothing to do here. So that's all for the rally phase. Next we have a German prep fire phase. So they are firing here. They have 12 plus 1. Oh, that's pretty good. It's 5. 5 in 12. This is morale check plus 2. So first Soviet squad, they break. Second one passes. So the one that carries machine gun breaks. Now let's place prep fire. Now he grabs this machine gun and he can fire it with firepower of 2, and he fires at them. So it's 2, it's 10, no effect. And now here. Well, they will be definitely dangerous here, so I wonder if I should fire at them with this group. I will lose concealment, and this is the problem. But I'm going to make it. So I have 8 plus 2 and minus 2. So it's 8 and 7. 7, it is morale check plus 1. And Soviets break. Okay, that was a good idea. And prep fire. So that's all for the Germans. And next we have to check for their movement. And no, I don't see any good positions where Germans can move. So Germans are not making any movement. And next we have a Soviet defensive fire phase. So they are firing here, 6 plus 2. 7 in the column plus 2, it's 9, no effect. They are firing here with 18 plus 2. So it's 5 in the column of 16. This is morale check plus 3. So the leader 7 plus 3 is 10, so he breaks. Now there, this squad and this this squad. So these two squads are firing here. They have 8 and they have 4, so it's 12 plus 2. It's 10 in the column of 12, no effect. There. I think that none of them has enemy in their line of sight. They are going simply to remain here and to block them. Well, they have 10, so it will be 20 plus 2. Let's try. It's 5. 5 in the column of 20. This is morale check plus 4. Okay, so I think they are going to be dead. 4 plus 4. Commander passes, and the soldiers 4 plus 4 is 8, so squad breaks. They go to graveyard, and that's all for the Soviet advancing for the Soviet defensive fire. Next we have German advancing fire, nothing to do, and a road phase. So this commander is out, he cannot retreat. This squad is in the cover, so they don't have to retreat. This commander is in the cover. This squad retreats onto this hex. And that's all for the road phase. Next we have German advance phase. And do I want to advance anywhere with my Germans? No, Germans are not going to advance anywhere. So this is the end of the advance phase. No close combat to resolve. Oh, sorry, there is one thing I have to do in the close combat. I have to make a roll for this spotting round to see if it's going to be on the hex. Let me roll. It's 4. No, it's going to be moved. So where? 1 north, and how many hexes? 3. 1, 2, 3. So it falls out of my line of sight, so it is now blue, I believe, right? When the spotting round falls out of the sight. Like I said, this off-board artillery isn't something that you are going to find and learn very quickly. If the spotting error out of the loss of the requesting leader, the round is lost. Yeah, so no. So it is out. There wasn't much of fun with this off-board artillery so far, and I believe it's not going to happen. So this is the end of the turn 5. And I think this is a moment where I can call for the graveyard check. Soviets lost 4 squads, and the Germans lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squads and 2 leaders. So the losses are definitely higher in the Germans. I've been certain that giving them these 2 additional squad would balance the game a bit, but looks like not. Looks like Germans are still a bit too weak to win this battle if they are not going to use hidden initial placement. Well, that was my experiment anyway. So I think this is a good moment to finish the first half of the game. We are right in the middle of the game at the end of turn 5. I am not sure if I will need all the 10 turns, but we will see.